So meets a guy on Bumble. They start dating. She really likes him. She's like enamored by him. They start, obviously having a relationship. About 3 or 4 weeks pass, and they've been pretty much seeing each other every single day.
Ooh.
Go out on, to the movies, dinner, drinks, and then he sits her down and he's like, I have to have this conversation with you because I think things are working out really well, and I really like you. I just want to explain where I'm at in my life, and
Okay, right there, I'd be like, "Oh my God, no!"
I know.
He has a secret life. Like seriously, what?
No, he said I want to continue this relationship.
Okay,
I
are you a
just
CIA?
I just believe in
Welcome to the Womanhood Lectures. I'm Yasmin.
and I'm Lyra.
All right, tell me the tea. Tell me the tea. What
Oh
happened
my
with you two? Tell
gosh.
me the story. I'm really curious
I
to
always
know.
have so many stories to tell
Yeah,
you, right?
I know.
So
You meet
I
so many
started-
people. That's why.
I just chat. I just
Yeah.
chat a lot. I think I talk too much. But I started chatting with this woman who is new to the dating scene,
Okay.
over 40.
Okay.
So she separated from her husband.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a debacle because he cheated on her. Long story short,
Oh.
she's moved on and she's like, oh my God, this is going to be so hard to find somebody, right?
Yes, okay.
So she starts dating and she starts going on a couple dates here and there, meets a guy on
Bumble?
Bumble.
Yes. Okay.
So meets a guy on Bumble. They start dating. She really likes him. She's like enamored by him. They start, obviously having a relationship. About 3 or 4 weeks pass, and they've been pretty much seeing each other every single day.
Ooh.
Go out on, to the movies, dinner, drinks, and then he sits her down and he's like, I have to have this conversation with you because I think things are working out really well, and I really like you. I just want to explain where I'm at in my life, and
Okay, right there, I'd be like, "Oh my God, no!"
I know.
He has a secret life. Like seriously, what?
No, he said I want to continue this relationship.
Okay.
I
Are you a
just
CIA?
I just believe in I just believe in polyamory.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
And she was like, "What the is polyamory, right?" What is
Women over
it?
40. What is
it?
polyamory?
What is it? So just so you're not
Wait,
shook.
is that polygamy? Is that the same thing?
So no,
that's different.
No.
Okay,
So
okay.
polygamy is one partner has multiple.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's usually
basically-
one-sided. So
yes,
like
it's
the
very
husband would have
one-sided.
multiple wives,
right.
right?
That's how I know it. Okay.
So he said something to her in response, which was, this is something as old as time, meaning, this is of the ages. Like, this is not something new. This is not something modern.
Okay.
This is something as old as time to have multiple partners in a relationship. So
Okay.
polyamory is consensual non-monogamy.
Okay, so you're
Okay.
just dating people.
So is the practice of having multiple intimate relationships, whether sexual or just romantic, with the full knowledge and consent of all parties
okay.
involved. So basically everybody knows, and it's not gender specific. You can have multiple partners. Now, it's not recognized as like a relationship under the law, because under the
Yeah.
law it's like husband,
How is that
wife,
even-
common law.
Okay.
But apparently, maybe because we're just not the in crowd, because
Yeah.
we're just family women, it's in.
Oh, really? So it's just like it's on the rise.
It's on the rise.
Okay.
It's becoming more widespread with the way things are going. So yes. So knowing that
Okay.
story,
Okay.
what would be
Okay,
your
so what
response?
what did you tell her? Like, oh, what did she say?
She said, "Hell to the no! Like, this is not.
Okay.
This is not for me, right?"
So she-
like,
so she was
she's
just like,
yeah,
"No,
she just
I'm
had
not-
to be
I'm
like,
not into
no,
that.
no, I'm
Sorry."
not into that. No,
Okay.
no.
Okay. Oh,
I know.
that's too bad.
Kind of just eliminates.
But
this time.
really-
But like, is it so prevalent that she's gonna run into that again? Like, is that what's going on? Is this the
maybe.
future? Like, what do you think her response should have been?
My response would have been like, I don't share.
Okay.
I don't like sharing. I'm sorry. I'm selfish.
Yes.
No, I don't think so. That would have been me.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'm more traditional, obviously. I'm not interested. Even when I was dating, like dating before I got married,
Right.
I would date people and I would be very open that we're on a date. We are not exclusive, and I'm not going to be intimate with you unless we become exclusive.
Right.
Right? So, like, my fine line is, of course, you can date a lot of people. You can go have fun. You can go have drinks. You can we are not getting past a certain line unless I know that you're
Right.
exclusively seeing me and you've sort of shut the door, the dating door to other people and
Right.
me as well. Like that would have to be a mutual thing. That would have to be like I don't think I would ever be able to be comfortable in a polyamorous relationship. That just, I don't know. I think that, so here's the thing. I think that most people, average human being, has expectations when they enter any relationship with anybody.
Yeah.
Friendship, your kids, your family, and your romantic relationships are like way big in terms of your expectations for
Right.
what you want to get out of that,
Right.
right? And so I don't think people understand that it's very difficult to share people with other people.
It is.
And then I
think
don't
it doesn't
know-
always work, right? Like I know I've
Yeah,
heard some stories of people trying it
Yes.
for,
Yes.
a couple of months and then it doesn't last. Like relationships don't last. They don't
Yeah.
because they're not that serious. Like I know for me, I could probably only handle one, Mr. Lewis. Like I can only handle one. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
To have multiple partners, that would be very difficult. So to me, it just doesn't mean that you're serious. You're not committed to that one relationship. And, I'll always tell it straight up like it is. Like, I think you're not serious about life if you're going to go into that direction.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know.
I could see that.
And I'm going to be thrown under the bus for this statement for sure. Because obviously, if it's new and it's modern, again, we don't live in those times in our minds. We're still kind of stuck in that traditional thought process.
Well, I don't know if we're stuck. I think
I don't
that
think it's stuck. It's the moral guidelines that we live by,
I just have
right?
a different moral compass, maybe.
Of course, 100%.
Again, now we're putting a moral. Now we're talking about the morality of it. Again, I would agree with you. Like I think for me, I think of things in a really practical way. Like I don't like to share you with other people. I don't like to be intimate with you and then know that you're going to be intimate with someone else.
Exactly.
Maybe I'm just, maybe not. Maybe that just means that I'm not a particularly confident person in my relationship. Okay, I'll take it. I'm not.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
I don't trust.
It's okay.
All
like,
right,
I don't care
sure,
if you think
whatever,
that I'm a
you can-
prude or that
Yeah.
I have a certain way of
Yeah.
thinking. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
I
that I'm
don't wanna share
insecure.
it. Exactly.
Okay.
That idea is just
Yeah.
so. But that being said, here's another way to look at it or frame it.
Yeah.
When you do spend your life, whether it's 18, 20 years, 25 years with one person and you
Yes.
have a family and you have these children, like some people don't know what it's like to have children yet, or maybe there's some younger people listening to us right now in between say 20 and 35 until you have that first child. And then you have that first child that is your own. And then you're building on that and you're having a family. Like it is the most beautiful thing. And I think it kind of just washes that out with a lot of these ideas.
You have no
It is
idea how
so
much
wonderful.
that affects you
Yes.
as a human being
To have that.
to have a child and to have to be responsible for that other
100%.
human being.
Yes.
Because then you start looking at your whole life, everything that you do, as like, ooh, through their eyes. How are they going to see this? What
What do they think
example?
about
What are
this?
they thinking about?
What would I want for them?
You're literally under the spotlight in your own mind about like, what would my kid think if they see me doing this or they hear me saying that, or right?
Yes.
Don't you find that?
So in other words, you get more of a moral compass when you have children. Is that what it is?
I guess.
But I think when you have children, you start thinking about the future.
Yeah.
And you
okay.
start thinking
For
about
sure.
your legacy and you start thinking about what am I going to leave behind? And when I have children, what are my grandchildren going to be like? And
Right.
this is like,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
a lot of people are moving away from that thinking because they're just, it's modern. It's modern to be like, well, anything goes and you can
Yeah.
have this and you can have multiple multiple partners and multiple different types of relationships. And it's kind of blurred the lines of what's acceptable and not acceptable. But
Yeah.
there's a beauty in having a legacy and a future and having, grandchildren and great grandchildren and knowing that what you're leaving behind is you.
Yeah, I love that.
Is your
yeah,
future. Yeah.
absolutely. So my other thought process is, and yeah, you can throw me under the bus for this one, but it's kind of lazy. It's lazy. Like, okay, this person is not giving me this. I'm just going to get it from
that
someone
person.
else. And like, yes, it absolutely feeds that ego. It feeds your happiness. It feeds your immediate satisfaction. But yeah, it makes you kind of lazy, I think, in relationships. And relationships are honestly, they are meant to be here to teach you things about yourself. those relationships are mirrors for you to learn about you and to actually become your greater version, right?
Yes.
To be expanded, to learn and to grow. You don't do that when everything's always easy. You don't do that when you're like, oh, I didn't like you today. I'm just going to go spend time with someone else who makes me feel better.
I know.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Right?
Like, do you divide your time like 7 days a week?
I don't know.
It's one person.
Like, how would that work?
I don't know.
It would be.
I don't even know. Like,
It would be.
That's a lot of time in a day.
Okay, that's way too much work. That's way too much work for me. Like,
Yeah.
come on. I'm not going to be like Monday. It's a lot. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy to expend. Now, granted, like, you know, putting yourself into a monogamous relationship, it takes energy as well.
It takes energy, work. I always call it a whip.
Man, at least I know how he does the dishes, and I can just
Exactly.
pick on that one thing. Like, I don't know. I don't have to figure 10 people out. And I'm not saying it's going to be 10 people. I'm saying 2, 3 people. If you are in some sort of relationship, you have to have your presence there. You have to have time. You have to put something in.
But like, how does it
Right?
work? Like, do we even know? Like,
I don't know.
Is polyamory mean like everyone pays a portion of the mortgage? Or like, I don't know. How does it work? Like, is there a benefit to it in a financial perspective? Maybe. I don't know.
I
Does
don't
everyone
know.
live together?
Does
Do
everyone
they
live
in different
together?
places?
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't know.
What's that? What was that show? That show, Sister. Oh my gosh. It was that show about it was more about polygamy.
Okay.
But really, it's sister wives,
Okay.
right? And yeah, they kind of all live together and raise their kids together and cook together. And I don't know, I think that'd be just so awkward. It's like
I don't
living.
know. I'd really
it's
like someone else to
living
cook right now.
with a whole bunch of your
know.
man's exes
No, I
and
know.
comparing notes. Ew.
Ew.
I'm sorry. No, I can't.
I know.
I can't
It's
even.
so crazy. Maybe we're just like too old.
No, we're
prudes.
not.
No, I don't
We're
think
not.
so. I think
How
we're
about-
pretty normal.
I
but-
think that many people, and you know what? Let me look something up right now. So let's think about it from this perspective. Right now, divorce rates are over 50%. I think like 62% or something.
It's really high.
It's
it
very,
was
very high.
50 like
Yes.
last year.
Oh God,
So it's probably higher
it's
now.
more. It's probably more. But in open marriages, I guess is what we're talking about. In a polyamorous relationship, let's see what the fail rate is, because I know I looked at it. It was like an ungodly number. Oh, here we go.
It's in polyamory?
Polyamory. The open marriage polyamory model, non-monogamy, has a 92% failure rate.
Wow.
Wasting time. I'm sorry, ladies. Just don't.
You're just not
Just
serious.
don't.
You're
Yeah,
not serious,
you're right. You're
right?
right. And you're not disciplined. You're not disciplined about your life and your, like, if you can't be disciplined in your relationship, how are you going to be disciplined in other areas of your life?
So I think it's about learning I think as a society, we maybe have to learn a lot more about monogamy and being able to promote relationships that stick
Yeah.
together, right?
Yeah.
A conversation that I was having, there was a stat that was mentioned. I could be off with the numbers, but by 2030, we're going to have a lot more single women without children, right? We're going to have less children. People are going to have less children. Of course, that affects a lot of things overall.
Yeah.
But I think if more people were more serious about monogamy and, considering a family and maybe
Yes.
having children and raising children, I think that's a wonderful future, just not only psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, a lot of those things, but also you're helping the birth rate. You know what I mean? You're
Yes.
helping the world
Yeah.
stay populated. So
For sure.
that's,
Stay populated.
it's true. Like,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
there
Our
is-
birth rate is absolutely declining
It's on a decline.
worldwide.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing.
It's
That's not a good thing at all. And I do think that this will end up contributing to a lot more people and just not being able to
I
commit to things.
know.
It seems to me very wishy-washy. Maybe that sounds judgy on my part. I haven't been in a polyamorous relationship before. I think I take my relationships really seriously, and I want to go deep with them. Like, I want to have very deep ties to the people that I'm close with. I
Right.
want to feel like they're really there for me, and I want to feel like they'll be there for me when I need them.
Yes.
And not off and not diluting their energy across other things and
Of
other
course,
people.
of course.
Right? I feel like there's less potency in your relationship.
100%.
And it's so beautiful when you're in a monogamous relationship that you're working in, I don't know, there's just something so beautiful.
Developing, you're learning about each other.
Yeah.
You're only nagging one person. you're just that, oh, there's only one
Yes,
person
only one
bugging
person.
you.
Yes,
Like it's no,
yes.
but it's not that. It's
Yeah.
just also like what your family sees,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
your family around you and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
your children and how they
Right.
see you.
Yeah.
I think it's something that we should always push is monogamy. But
I love it.
that's my
Okay.
opinion, and I'm
That's
sticking
fine.
to it.
Yes, I am too. Thanks so much for joining us today, guys. We will see you next time.